learn from, and discuss with each other topics they choose. Each session is curated by African Wikimedians to expand Africa's open movement. Today's host is Cecilus Obanyaya.
Hello, friends of free knowledge. I'm Cecilus Obanyaya, your host. You're welcome to another amazing episode of the Wiki Africa Hour, the monthly podcast to support the activities of the Wiki Africa movement and Wikimedians across Africa as a continent. For this month, we have some news updates we'd like to share with you. Thank you so much, but it looks like we have uh, a breaking transmission with the news updates. Okay, I will just go ahead to announce the news since we're having issues playing the recording we have prepared. First, I would like to, of course, let us know that the winners of the Wiki Loves Africa 2023 International Media Contest themed climate and weather have been announced. And please, you're welcome to visit the Wiki Loves Africa 2023 contest page on Wikimedia Commons to see the winning entries. Next, the Wiki Loves Monuments contest for 2023 has launched for the year, but then I think today and tomorrow are the last days for you to make entry. Please endeavor to participate in documenting monuments and heritage across Africa and beyond. Entries are welcome, I think up until, uh, yes, 31st October precisely. Apologies for thinking it was 30th September. And then some news about Wikimedia conferences. First, the Wiki Indaba 2023 co-organizing team is inviting Wikimedia communities across Africa to apply for micro grants up to $300 for local community events happening in sync with the conference in Morocco. Application deadline is October 8th, 2023. It's also a pleasure to let you know that the WikiDataCon 2023, which is the conference dedicated to the Wikidata community, is taking place on October 28th and 29th, online all around the world and on site in Taipei, Taiwan, precisely. You can now register for the conference. The Wiki Women Camp co-organizing team invites you to submit short video clip between 3 to 5 minutes, highlighting your projects, initiatives, and efforts that have made a significant difference in addressing gender gaps one way or the other. Please use WeTransfer and Google Drive or any of the two, of course, while sharing your videos through the email admin@wikiwomencamp.org. Also include a brief description of your project, affiliate name, or your name or username, and contact information. Deadline to submit this video is Thursday. Oh, that was yesterday. So I hope you actually have submitted, and maybe you could also reach out to them to know if they are accepting late entry. Next, the registration for Glam Wiki Conference happening in Montevideo, Uruguay, on 16th and 17th and 18th of November is now open. Please try to register for the conference. The Wikimedia Steering Committee has just announced that the Global Wikimedia Conference, known as Wikimania, for the year 2025 and 2026 will be happening in East Africa and Paris, respectively. You definitely have to brace yourself for amazing sessions at these conference venues. And lastly, I would like to let you know that the Africa Baraza, a town hall meeting for African Wikimedians, will hold the last 2023 meeting on the 6th of October 2023 from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. UTC. Please endeavor to be there. You can view all the news updates in the newsroom section on the Wiki Africa Hour page on Meta. And of course, the action links are also there for you to take action. With that, I officially welcome you to the episode 31 of Wiki Africa Hour, titled Wiki Loves Africa 2023 Meet the Winners. I prefer to call them the sharpest shooters on the continent in terms of photography, of course, and videography and whatnot. The winners of the Wiki Loves Africa 2023, the biggest media competition on the African continent, have just been announced. The 2023 competition was run under the theme Climate and Weather, which was aimed towards showing the various effects of climate to the African environment, as these visuals really are not enough across the internet in terms of showing how bad the climate and extreme weather conditions have affected the African continent. These media files, of course, will end up being used under the Creative Commons licenses to illustrate climate, weather, and environmental related articles about Africa, both on and off Wikimedia projects. Out of over 13,000 entries that were received this year, top 20 entries were shortlisted, then followed by the selection of top 7 entries for the various Wiki Loves Africa 2023 International Prize categories. To enable us understand the ideas behind these winning entries, the creative journeys of the winners who made these entries, and of course the jury process, we have invited the winners and 2 members of the Wiki Loves Africa 2023 International Jury to join us on this session. I would like to use this opportunity to let you know that we have 2 panels made up of the jurors and the winners, respectively. Panel 1 would have us talking to Eric and Buba, who are members of the Wiki Loves Africa 2023 International Jury. Don't go anywhere, because after these interesting jurors, we'll be moving over to unveiling the winners for you to meet them face to face for the first time. Here we have Eric and Buba. Let me start by introducing Buba. Aboubacar Kamaté, documentary videographer, video director, and filmmaker. He has been very active in the Ivorian movie industry over the years, with some Ivorian TV series behind his back. He won the best video quality prizes for Wiki Loves Africa in the year 2020 and Wiki Loves Africa in the year 2021. He helped this year to coordinate the winners of the Special Collection Prize for the Wiki Loves Africa 2023. You're welcome, Buba. And next we have Eric Chidom, who is a documentary photographer and filmmaker based in Enugu State, Nigeria, with three solid years of professional experience. Eric is all about creating lasting memories and capturing them for generations to come. His main focus is documenting culture, especially in southeastern Nigeria, as a way to learn more about our own culture as maybe southeasterners in Nigeria, but also to showcase this culture and rich heritage to the world. Eric is a partner and head of productions at Onije Productions. He is also the lead creative at Doric Productions. And of course, he was on the Wiki Loves Africa 2023 international jury. Welcome, Eric and Buba. How are you guys doing today?
Salut. Merci.
Salut,
Hello,
Buba.
everyone.
Yeah. So for the interest of our audience, I would like to let you know that this is going to be a bilingual session. Why? Because Buba, our brother, is francophone, basically. So the first question I will start with Eric. Eric, when you got the request to, be a juror for Wiki Loves Africa, what motivated you to join the jury? What informed your decision to be part of the Wiki Loves Africa 2023 international jury?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'd say that what prompted me to want to join the member of jurors was that I have a passion for storytelling. Not only that, I've always wanted to fill in the gap. I believe that there's a content gap when it comes to the content that we have in the Southeast in Nigeria. Anytime you browse any information about the Southeast or you browse any information about Nigeria, there isn't really a lot there. So I'm very, very passionate about filling that gap. So I feel like Wikimedia, I see what they're doing and I feel like I would love to partner with that. So I was very, very excited when Mr. Wilson, see him in the chat, invited me to be one of the jurors. Yeah, so it was great.
Thank you very much, Eric. And yes, you really are right when you talked about, there's not enough visibility about the southeastern Nigeria. I myself, I attended an event on behalf of Wiki in Africa. I think it was coordinated by Afia TV and CNC or CNC, I've forgotten the name of the organization. So was, shining light on the rich heritage and other interesting activities of the southeastern people. Thank you so much. Et bon, Bouba, je ne sais pas si c'est cool de tutoyer.
Oui, tu peux me tutoyer.
Ok,
Oui,
ok, parce que nous sommes des amis, donc c'est un peu difficile.
oui,
Et
oui.
pour toi, j'aimerais savoir, après avoir reçu la demande de rejoindre le jury international de Wiki Loves Africa
Oui.
2023, qu'est-ce que tu as pensé avant de décider et avant d'être convaincu que peut-être il fallait être membre du jury?
D'accord. Merci, Ceslos, pour l'invitation. Déjà, il faut dire que c'est la passion, parce que je suis un grand passionné de l'image. Tout ce qui est art visuel, ma passion pour la photographie, la vidéographie. Donc, ça a été une opportunité exceptionnelle pour moi de contribuer à la promotion de l'art visuel et de soutenir les nouveaux talents émergents. Donc, quand l'opportunité s'est présentée, j'ai tout de suite sauté dessus.
Merci,
Voilà.
Bouba.
Oui.
La réponse. I don't know if Florence could help us with interpreting Bouba's response to our audience. Florence, are you able to do that?
Hello. I was actually trying to do the translation live on the banner, but not typing very quickly. yeah, so essentially, Ceslos asked the same question to Buba than he asked to Eric, which was how he felt when he was first invited to join the jury. Well, Buba mentioned that he wanted in particular to push for visual art online and the celebration of the continent. So essentially that's it. But continue, Buba, please.
Merci Florence d'être notre traductrice pour aujourd'hui. And for those of us who are not aware, this year we had a twist as regards how we coordinated the international jury. We had two separate juries, if I would say, for the prize selections. Why one jury worked on, photo entries to select the best images and whatnot around the photos. The other jury worked on selecting the best audio and the best videos. How cool is that? But unfortunately, we only have Eric and Buba, who were part of the photo jury, here with us on this session. However, let's take a look at the other amazing jurors who helped us to, navigate the selection processes. Thank you. Like you can see up there, there is Eric, then there is Musa from Nigeria too, just like Eric, and then there is Michael Maggs from the United Kingdom. There is Benoit Couillard, who is from France, and there is Nadine Loleuza, who is also from France, and there's Yazid Kamedian, who is from South Africa. Yes, and Wilfredo Rodriguez, who is originally from I think Brazil, but he's based in Canada. Nikki Newman from South Africa, and of course Buba, who is here with us, and Soma Kamal Eldin, who is from Egypt, and Rachel Zadok, who is from South Africa. And then the new jury that we constituted for the first time this year, the International Video Jury, there is Rumbi Kateza, who is from Zimbabwe. There is Mohamed Amin Benlulu, who is from Algeria. And of course, Rachel was also instrumental. Like, she is from South Africa. And there is Faisal, who is from Algeria. And there is also Gaye Maputi, who is from Senegal. These amazing persons made it possible for us to have these winners that you will be meeting here today as they talk about their journey into winning the Wiki Loves Africa International prizes. And coming back to you, Eric and Buba, of course, we'll start with you, Eric. Both of you worked on the jury that selected the photography winners. Please, starting with you, Eric, describe your experience on the Wiki Loves Africa 2023 International Jury. I mean, was it difficult, time consuming, any special meeting to decide what images went through what stage, and what can one expect after agreeing to be a member of Wiki Loves Africa International Jury?
Okay, thank you for the question. Of course, it's very difficult because there are so many times where you don't even know how to decide on what is a good picture, really, because there's a lot that goes into making that decision. So you can have something that is technically a good picture where like the composition is perfect, the picture is properly exposed, but then it may not tell as much of a story as a picture that doesn't have any of those things. So it was really, really difficult, and we came across so many of those pictures. But at the end, I personally had to find like a balance in deciding, okay, like if it tells the good enough story and it's good enough, then we pass it across to the next stage. So yeah, that was I feel like one of the most challenging things for me. It was a pleasure though, because I mean, I loved seeing what everybody was really trying to put in, and people expressing their own views of the climate and weather, the topic of the competition for this year. So it was a pleasure to at least partake in that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eric. For once, I was scared when you said, "Oh, it was difficult." I'm like, "Oh, who knows if you ever convince people to be part of the jury next year?" But I'm happy you also expressed that it was a pleasure. At least with that, people would know that maybe it was some sort of virtual exhibition for you while you were having fun scrolling through the images. Thank you very much for expressing that. Et toi, Bouba, je ne sais pas si peut-être. Okay, I am sincerely sorry for that break in transmission. Please, if we have digital rights activists here, please let them know we need at least 1 gig per second ability with our connectivity as regards internet here in Nigeria and Africa. Thank you so much, Eric, for at least emphasizing that you had fun on the jury. Et pour toi, Bouba, on aimerait savoir comment s'est passé le processus de jury. Est-ce que, je sais pas, c'était difficile ou pas? Et si quelqu'un accepte d'être membre de jury, qu'est-ce qu'il faut expecter?
Déjà, participer à ce prestigieux concours lié à la photographie, centré sur l'Afrique, a été une expérience inoubliable. Et je suis très honoré d'avoir eu l'opportunité de contribuer à cette initiative passionnante. Aussi, j'ai eu la chance d'examiner plusieurs photos de différents pays soumises par des photographes talentueux et des vidéastes aussi, qui mettent tous en valeur la richesse de l'Afrique. J'ai été impressionné par la manière dont les photographes ont su capter les photos dans tous les aspects, la diversité du continent africain. Bon, on est tous cette année, on sait que le thème c'est météo et climat. Et une petite anecdote, ici en Afrique, quand il pleut, on sait déjà ce qui se passe. Je reviens à cette anecdote parce que j'ai vu une photo qui m'a attiré l'attention dans, je crois, le top 5 ou le top 10 où il y avait des personnes à moto et il pleuvait, la moto s'est renversée. Donc, on sent que les gens allaient tomber et le photographe, il a capté le moment précis. Donc, ici, généralement, en Afrique, quand il pleut, bon, on ne sort pas, on ne va pas au travail, on ne va pas à l'école parce qu'on se dit que les voies seront inondées ou ça sera difficile pour circuler. Donc, ça fait que par moment, quand on n'a pas envie d'aller au travail, on implore la pluie et ça nous permet de rester à la maison. Donc, quand j'ai vu cette image, ça m'a rappelé beaucoup de souvenirs et j'ai quand même apprécié. L'évolution aussi des photos a été un processus, l'évaluation, pardon, ça a été un processus exigeant, mais gratifiant, si je peux le dire comme ça. J'ai examiné chaque image avec attention, tout en m'appuyant sur des critères tels que la qualité technique, la composition, l'originalité, la narration visuelle et la manière dont chaque photo reflète, chaque photo reflète le thème du concours de cette année. Donc, c'est un peu sur ça que je me suis basé pour choisir les photos. Maintenant, le conseil que j'ai à dire, si quelqu'un doit être membre du jury, déjà, c'est une opportunité, c'est une chance parce que ça permet de voir le contour d'un autre aspect, choisir, pouvoir vivre de sa passion, définir quel est le meilleur, quelle est la photo qui rentre plus dans le thème. Donc moi, à la place de cette personne, je serais très contente à y participer. Voilà.
Florence. Florence, je ne sais pas si tu es toujours là. Bien. Okay. Buba was just expressing how much of. Okay.
I can try to explain, but I try to give the outcome. Well,
Okay.
Essentially, I liked very much the anecdote he was telling us about, because many of the pictures were about people trying desperately to to be in the street and not get away with the water. And there were some pictures in particular with a motorcycle and people on the verge of falling in the water. And there were some pictures that we'll probably display afterwards, with the people being carried by others. So he found that quite fun, because in Africa, flows are frequent. And usually when there is water, people don't even go outside. They don't go to school. They don't go to work. They stay at home. Sometimes they even pray that there will be floods so that they wouldn't go to work. So it was funny for him to see some of these pictures, which are probably a little bit unusual. And beside that, I think, Boba, it was the first time you were on the jury, right? Is that correct? Tu étais sur le jury la deuxième fois?
Oui, c'est ma deuxième fois.
Yeah. It's the second time that Buba is on the jury. So obviously he survived the first time and he wanted more. And he concluded that he really highly suggested anyone invited to join the jury to do that, because it's very interesting to see all the great pictures about the talents from Africa.
Thank you so much, Florence. And yes, the anecdote actually, got me smiling, and it shows the resilience of Africans, trying to go against the rain to go about their business like every other day. Thank you so much, Eric and Buba, for sharing that interesting insight. Et je te reviens, Buba.
Oui.
Le concours de cette année avait reçu plus que 13 000 soumissions sur le thème de climat et météo. Qu'est-ce que vous pensez des soumissions et comment ces soumissions ont montré la situation climatique et la situation de l'environnement en Afrique?
D'accord, c'est bon. Ok. De nombreuses soumissions ont mis en lumière le défi auquel l'Afrique est confrontée en matière de changement climatique, et chose qui se voit d'ailleurs dans nos capitales, que ce soit Abidjan, Niamey ou Lagos. Quand il pleut, on sait tous comment ça se passe. Quand aussi c'est la période sèche, on sait aussi comment ça se passe dans des pays comme au Niger, au Mali, au Sénégal. J'étais particulièrement marqué par des photographies montrant le phénomène météorologique extrême, tels que les sécheresses, les inondations, les tempêtes de sable. Et ces images ont témoigné l'impact direct du changement climatique sur les communautés locales et l'environnement. Donc pour moi, les images ont montré ce qui existe déjà, c'est-à-dire il n'y a pas de tricherie, il n'y a pas d'images truquées. C'est ce que l'Afrique vit, c'est ce qu'il y a en Afrique quand il pleut ou quand il fait chaud. Donc ces images ont mis en évidence à la fois le défi et la beauté des conditions météorologiques en Afrique. Elles ont contribué aussi à sensibiliser davantage des enjeux liés au changement climatique sur ce continent. Parce que si on ne change pas nos habitudes, si on ne sauve pas, on ne change pas nos comportements, on ne limite pas la consommation à outrance du carburant, bon, on ne sait pas ce qui va se passer dans les années à venir. Donc, il faudrait que dans nos habitudes de tous les jours, on ait un comportement qui vise à sauver notre planète. On tienne compte des des messages que nous donnent les experts chaque jour, chaque mois, les institutions habilitées à le faire. Donc, pour moi, c'est un peu ma vision des choses. Il faut que les images ont montré déjà ce qui existe déjà en Afrique et on a eu de très belles images.
Merci, Bouba. À toi la parole, Florence.
Florence, elle a réussi à peu près à résumer la pensée de Bouba. De toute façon, il dit les choses magnifiquement, donc c'est difficile de les résumer en juste quelques mots. Mais voilà, ce qui soulignait, c'est que beaucoup de ces photos n'étaient pas...
anglais, Florence.
Oh, sorry, I was translating in French, but this is in French.
En anglais.
Thank God I only speak 2 languages, otherwise it would be so complicated. I was mostly saying that it's complicated to summarize what Bouba said because he is using beautiful words to explain the situation. But more or less, one of the things he outlined is that many of the pictures were not just about climate and weather. They were mostly showing the impact of climate change and what the people are really living on a daily basis. So he hopes that the pictures will actually help promote, raise awareness about the impact of climate change in the continent.
Thank you so much, Florence, for that interpretation. Yes, Bouba is a very big orator. He talks like a griot, so too much of aesthetic words. Mais merci aussi, Bouba, pour l'expression distinguée concernant les soumissions. And coming to you, Eric. Eric, you were part of the jury that selected the top 20 images. I was wondering, Eric, do you have any favorite image or images from the top 20 that perhaps didn't win any international prize? And if you do, what image or images were that? And why were those, or why was that your favorite?
So I have, I think, about 2. I can't remember exactly the name of the photographers or the images themselves, but one of them were the winners, where it was the lady with her son in what looked like a refugee camp in the desert. So that one. Then the second one that was my favorite was the one of the boy picking water, using like a plastic bottle to pick water from the stream. So those 2, I feel like they really, really excelled for me, and they really told like a great story for me. The composition and everything else was perfect. So those were my favorite, yeah.
Interesting. It's unfortunate that the guy fetching water from the stream, the image didn't make it to, winning the prize. But what I always tell people is that there are no losers when it comes to, Wiki Loves Africa, because that particular image could still get to illustrate an article and could be seen, and a lot could happen from there, both for the image and for the photographer. So thank you, Eric, for expressing how much of a story or stories these 2 images told. And lastly, je te reviens, Bouba, tu as participé 2 fois, ou bien plus que 2 fois, je crois, dans le concours Wiki Loves Africa. Mais au moins, tu as gagné 2 fois le prix de meilleure vidéo de 2020 et le prix de meilleure vidéo de 2021. Et bon, vous êtes parmi les membres de jury, ça fait 2 fois aussi maintenant. Est-ce qu'il y a des leçons que peut-être tu as appris par jouant ces 2 parties dans le concours?
Oui, c'est Slows. J'ai appris beaucoup. Ma participation à Wiki Loves Africa en tant que participant et juré m'a permis de voir le concours sous 2 perspectives complémentaires. En tant que lauréat de la meilleure vidéo en 2020 et 2021 et juré en 2022 et 2023, j'ai réalisé que l'originalité et la créativité sont des éléments complémentaires essentiels pour se démarquer dans un concours de cette envergure. Ensuite, en tant que juré, j'ai pu voir l'autre côté, parce qu'avant, j'étais participant. Donc, je travaillais, je soumettais mes vidéos, mais aujourd'hui, j'ai pu passer de l'autre côté, j'ai pu voir un peu comment ça se passe. Et cela m'a appris à évaluer les œuvres de manière plus objective, en utilisant des critères tels que la qualité technique, la narration visuelle, la pertinence par rapport au thème et l'impact émotionnel. Ma participation à Wiki Love en tant que participant et juré m'a enrichi sur le plan personnel et professionnel. Donc, ça m'a permis de promouvoir la puissance de la photographie et aussi voir la puissance, les effets positifs à travers une photo qui peut exprimer beaucoup de choses, qui peut raconter beaucoup de choses, tout comme une vidéo. Aujourd'hui, un peu partout sur les réseaux sociaux, on n'a pas peut-être visité certains pays, mais quand on regarde des vidéos faites pour présenter les pays, ça nous donne envie d'aller là-bas, ça nous donne envie de visiter ces pays. Donc, l'image a un pouvoir de raconter des histoires, c'est de là, c'est passionnant. Donc, pour moi, aujourd'hui, j'ai pu voir ces deux aspects et je reste convaincu que c'est le maximum. Voilà.
Merci, Bouba. Florence?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to do it all. Yeah, what is interesting about Bouba is that he has been a participant already several years, and he has been a winner in the past. So he had the perspective of a winner when he was proposing content to the contest in the past. And then now he has a different perspective. He has the perspective of a jury member, where he had to establish criteria of originality, of technical quality, of which images are telling a story, and so on. So it's a completely different perspective, and now he feels enriched because he is able to understand and to visualize these two different perspectives as a person. So it was interesting for him. Roughly, that's the summary of it.
Thank you, Florence.
He's a unique person. He's the only one in this situation, by the way. He's the only person who was a winner and who is also a jury member. So it's a little bit of a unique person, right?
Yes. Bouba, it must have been an amazing experience, being able to play those two roles. Thank you so much. And talking about the top 20 images, let's see what these images look like. I mean, the images that made it to the shortlist for top 20. Noni, could you help us? Oh, yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you, Nani, for sharing those amazing shots. In fact, I was already imagining myself, uh, you know, in that desert and what it will look like when the sun sets and all that. And with that, I say a very big thank you to you, Buba and Eric, for having responded to these questions we asked so far. Perhaps somebody during the Q&A segment of the session would have a question or two for you. Et pour toi, Bouba, je crois qu'il y a toujours une question à pouce pendant la session avec les gagnants pour toi. Donc,
D'accord,
restez branchés.
d'accord,
Thank you,
ça.
Eric. Thank you, Buba.
Thank you.
And with that, we move to the panel two, where we will be talking to our winners. First, we have Sani Maikatanga. Sani is a Nigerian photographer, and he is best known for his work with indigenous people and isolated communities in the northern part of Nigeria and popular landscapes. His coverage of the popular Agungu Fishing Festival earned him the GLF Africa Award 2022 photo competition. He is the winner of the first prize for Wiki Loves Africa 2023. Next, we have Mohamed Nasr. I hope he's here, who is a travel and street photographer based in Qatar. Mohammed is a senior journalist, a photojournalist, newspaper and magazine editor, content writer, and also a volunteer in humanitarian work with interest in writing Arabic news, articles, speeches, and media reports. He is the supervisor of the Qatar Custom magazine and all its media publications and photographer of the General Authority of Customs. Mohamed Nasr is the winner of the second prize for Wiki Loves Africa 2023. And next we have Moahmmed Osman, who is a Sudanese photographer and videographer. He got into the field after practicing photography as a hobby in 2008. Self-taught. By 2015, he decided to take photography as a professional job and continued until today. Throughout his experience, Mohammed has participated in many photography projects and missions all over Sudan. He is very interested in documenting the Sudanese cultural heritage and its diverse and rich history. He is the winner of the third prize for Wiki Loves Africa 2023. And next we have Abubakar, who is a Nigerian digital content curator. Abdul is basically a videographer, photographer, sound, and a video and photo editor. He is a volunteer documentary photographer and filmmaker at the Nigeria Slum and Informal Settlement Federation, Justice and Empowerment Initiative, and also Media for Change. He's been a member of KYC TV South Africa for more than 2 years, and he tries to change the narrative of Africa through storytelling and advocacy. He mostly tells stories about forced evictions, police accountability, climate change, and the livelihood of people. Abdul is the winner of the Best Audio Prize for Wiki Loves Africa 2023. And then there is Green Wilfred Somoni. Wilfred is a filmmaker from Bonny Island, Rivers State in Nigeria. He has worked on several film, documentary, and events and commercial projects. He won the Wiki Loves Africa 2022 International Best Video Prize, and he has also gone ahead to win Best Video Prize for Wiki Loves Africa 2023. And then lastly, we have Alamin Mohammed, who is a Nigerian digital nomad, documentary, portrait, and lifestyle photographer, cinematographer, licensed drone pilot, software engineer, and earth lover. His entry won first place at the USAID Youth Excel Photo Competition 2022, titled Youth at the Forefront of Economic Development. He is the winner of the Africa Environment Video Prize. Please welcome these special guests as we engage them. Hello, Sani. Hello, Alamin. Hello, Wilfred. Hello, Moahmmed Osman and Nasir. Going through the winning entries, I want to know how you all got into the scene, the photography, videography in the case of Abdul. I don't know if he's here yet. And then I also want to know how you guys heard about the Wiki Loves Africa competition, starting with you, Sani. Oh, Sani, you're muted, perhaps. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My name is Sani Maikatanga, as you introduced, a freelance photojournalist and documentary photographer. I specialize in documenting my culture and tradition in northern part of Nigeria and also in Niger. Uh, I started photography 1992 as a studio photographer. Then later on, I joined photojournalism in 2000 when I joined a vernacular magazine, Hausa magazine. We call it Film Magazine. And during that time, the publisher of the Film Magazine introduced me to Leadership newspaper. I start to be their freelance photojournalist in Kano almost 2000. I left them in 2006 when I joined Daily Trust newspaper. From 2009 to 2021, I work with Daily Trust. I am now on my own. I work with so many media agencies like Associate Press, Roots, Deutsche Welle, and also BBC. I love shooting my culture and tradition.
Thank you so much,
That's
Sani, for that.
yeah.
And how did you hear about the Wiki Loves Africa?
Yeah, one of my friends sent me the link that please go through this link. That is something is going on. I say okay, I will do that. Then I join. I register the Wikimedia user. Listen, I contribute my picture. Even that time, I think I selected at the I think fourth in the fourth categories at that time. That's how I got to know about Wikimedia. It's one of my friends. He's not a photographer also. He's just one of my fans that used to view my pictures. He just sent me a link that I should go through this link and make sure I submit my picture. He know that I will, even if I'm not win, maybe I will know something about the other people, other photographers in the world. That's how I
Nice.
get to know about Wikimedia.
Thank you. That's an amazing friend, and such a friend should be kept very close, Sani. Thank you for
Yeah.
explaining your adventure from 1992 till now, up to winning this amazing prize. And over to you, Mohamed Nasir, the winner of the second prize. how did you, get into photography, photojournalism, and how did you hear about Wiki Loves Africa?
Hello, my friend. Hello, everybody. Hello, all the winners. First, I thank you and congratulate everyone who win in this competition and everyone who is joining us today. Actually, my name is Mohamed Nasr. I'm from Egypt, the top land point in Africa. I am a journalist. This is my main job. And my hobby is photography, and travel for street and travel photography, documenting street life, culture, people, their habits, their traditions, and so. So I began photography almost when I was a kid. I was passionate about documenting my family and my friends' events and photos, and keep it for time. And after that, when I joined the journalism academy for undergraduate and work in journalism, I began to look to photos to other way that I should travel and search and look for what nice and specific subjects and unique subject to focus on and to express my point of view, to help people, to stress on negative points, or to show issues of people who are suffering. So that I think from 2012 I began to travel to mark my points that I want to show in many countries, representing my photo through the street photography and the travel and people traditions, people problems, people issues. During 10 years now, I went more than 15 countries in Africa and Asia. And these countries I love to travel to, especially Africa. And I have many projects I participated with them. Second part, actually, I hear about the competition through a group, a Facebook group. We have a Facebook group. We are some friends. We have a Facebook group. All of us shared any competition, any exhibition, any kind of art, photography art that we can participate and share our travels and photos. So I see this post that was my friend called Yasser. I thank him now for this opportunity. He put the link for the competition, and I was encouraged to participate because I have some photos that is compatible with the title of the competition. That's
Thank
it.
you. Thank you so much, Mohamed Nasir. For this year, I was wondering, don't we have these Egyptians? Because some years we have Egyptians winning 3 prizes, 4 prizes. And
Really,
it's glad to see an Egyptian
thank you so
once
much.
again. And
It's my
pleasure,
pleasure.
pleasure. And over to you, Mohammed Osman. How did you get into photography and how did you hear about Wiki Loves Africa?
Hello everyone, I'm Mohammed Osman. I'm from Sudan, and you know everyone what happened in Sudan now, and just try to everything to be good, inshallah. I'm start photography, professional, and in before finish the university, and my sorry, my amazing thing to shooting and what my love and in Africa, the documentary from Sudan. I have a lot of collection in Sudan. I have a lot of think you can do it, and we travel in around Sudan too much, and we shooting for documentary, for magazine, for organization, for agency, and I have a lot of documentary about people and children. And the last time, just I see something about climate change, because that I have some interest about.
That's
And
the image that won the third prize, Mohammed, for you.
what?
Yes. How did you hear about the Wiki Loves Africa photo contest?
In 2020, I have like a second part in 3 part in Sudan, and I have like 5 year or 4 years with Wiki Love, because I love Africa, because I need to everyone to see the good part of Africa, not bad part. Yeah, because that we need to take a lot of picture and show the people and the world Africa is beautiful.
Yes, thank you so much. I agree. And with that amazing shot, I couldn't believe how breathtaking the landscape was looking in the picture.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we have Abdul here yet. Abdul, are you here? Abdul is the winner of the Best Audio Prize. But in case he's not here, I don't know if we have Wilfred. Is Wilfred back? I know he was timed out. Yes, yes, Wilfred. Please let us know how you got into videography. And for you, I would ask, what brought you back to participate this year? And just please talk to us.
Okay, so what got me into videography? It started off as a passion, more like what I do for fun. First off, I am a storyteller in every way, or should I say, an artist. I started off with writing as a kid, drawing, and all of that. So it's literally a part of who I am. So videography particularly started for me in 2019. I started experimenting with mobile videography. So I made videos on my phone, showed it to friends. They encouraged me to continue until I met one of my friends who was advanced in videography, photography, and videography, and he advised me to upgrade to making videos with cameras. And so I learned under him. His name is Reginald Jumbo. I learned under him for like a year. And since I'm a fast learner, it didn't take me long to pick up. And so that's how my videography career started. And I became independent just a year after that. Why I came back this year? Well, I feel like there's still more to be done. There's still more quality needed to be put out there. Something that I believe people are going to resonate with each of the themes every year. So I always want to drive a message home. I always want to make an impact with the content I create. And so I saw it as an opportunity to come back and do it again. And that's why I came back. And I'm glad I made it this far.
Yes,
Thank you.
You came back and you did it again and won a prize. Thank you so much, Wilfred.
Hello, Cessus.
And yeah, over to you, Alamin. Alamin, okay, yes. Please tell us how you got into videography and how you heard about the Wiki Loves Africa 2023 contest. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yes, we can.
you can hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, guys. My name is Mohamed Alamin, and I'm a documentary photographer and cinematographer. Sorry, the light is bad and losing sunlight, and I don't have LED, so an irony for a videographer. So I'm first of all a photographer before being a cinematographer. So I learned photography basically by doing. During my school days, I usually observed a lot of people, especially Europeans, seem to have this very advanced type of cameras around their necks when they visit places around Malaysia or Singapore. And that got me interested in wanting to acquire that type of camera. And over time, I learned how to take pictures, and with YouTube and a lot of workshops, I got better and better. However, I felt like photographs don't tell the full picture of a story. I feel a single frame sometimes kind of limits the story one can tell. So that led me into videography, and I put in a lot of effort to understand. I'm still learning, and I want to get better. So the ability to tell a story over a long frame in video mode lets you to actually touch the emotions of the viewer. So as in the case of the climate and weather representation, it gave me, say, more opportunity to show more frames of how climate and weather affects people in and around where I live. And I got to know about Wikimedia through basically the internet. I've participated in competitions as far back as 2020, where I won the Wiki Loves Africa, the Nigerian user group. I came first, and in just a few months back, I won the Wiki Loves Monuments in Nigeria, and I got a special prize in the worldwide edition as well. So I've been part of the Wikimedia family for a long time now. And congratulations to each and everyone over here, and thanks guys for tuning in and listening to us.
Interesting, Mohammed Alamin. I mean, you started from the local competition in Nigeria and now you're international, and that's an
Yes,
amazing
yes.
progression,
Thank you.
if you ask me. Thank you so much for
You're
all those
welcome.
interesting answers you all gave. And coming back to you, Sani, your entry, Auyo Village Flood, won the Wiki Loves Africa 2023 International First Prize. Looking at the image, I would like to first understand what your daily routine looks like as a photographer or a photojournalist, and then how you took these winning shots, and of course, how you felt when you were notified that your entry won the first prize.
Uh, Actually, as a photojournalist and a photographer, documentary photographer, almost every day, every time I used to be with my camera going around because I used to take a shot of today's life in our community and also still going around with my camera in case, as I told you, I work with some media agencies like BBC, uh, Reuters, and AFI. My boss, Afolabi Sotunde, is the one that joined me with Reuters as
Oh, nice.
their freelance photojournalist. When they need something from Nigeria, maybe in northern part of Nigeria, Kano, Katsina, and other. That's why every time I used to be with my camera. When I see something that, yeah, this is what's news, then I quickly take my camera and take that shot. Uh, about this photograph, uh, last 2 years, early morning, I just on my phone, I saw a missed call almost 3 times. Then I opened my WhatsApp, I saw a message. I opened it, I saw my boss Afolabi Sotunde asking me that, do you heard about the flood in Jigawa? I say yes. Just tell me that we need image from that flood.
Mm.
How will you get to Jigawa? Then he asked me like which place and which place. I said, hey, I heard about Asia, Auyo, and other places. Then I quickly uh, arrange for my traveling from where am I to Jigawa is around Hadija. It's almost 2 to 3 hours from where am I. Unfortunately, I one of my friend working with TBC News, we discussed a day to that message that I got, that he said that he want to follow me to whenever I'm going out. I just called him that I'm going to uh, Jigawa for about that flood. He said, yes, I'm interested. We went together and to that area. As we are coming back from Auyo after we capture all what happened in the Auyo, how the water flooded their farms, their houses, their market. On our way, someone called us that, I heard that you are in Auyo. Please make sure you capture how the water destroy our school and our market along the road. I said, okay, I'll do that. Then on our way, we saw this market, and from far, I saw this man. I say, please let us stop here because I'm using zoom lens and wide angle lens. Then I zoomed the guy. I saw him that he's parking his. I think he's selling. Like I think what I will call it. We call it in house. Key. Those babies. I don't know how to call it in English. We call it key, the chicken. Yeah. Yeah, I saw him. He parked them inside that black rubber, trying to come out from the flooded roadside market. Then I captured these images, almost I think 5 to 6 shots that I got. When he came out, I even showed him the picture. He laughed. He asked me, "What are you going to do with this picture?" I said, "I'm a photojournalist." At that time he called, are you going to use it in Armenia newspaper? Because village people they used to read Hausa newspaper. That's Armenia. Also that Daily Trust used to do it. I say no, I'm not going to use it in that paper. I'm going to use it in English media. That is how I got this image, and I don't even know that this image will make to this Wiki Love competition. Because I saw a lot of photographers from other, and I go through their pages. That's what I used to do when I see other photographers. I used to see their pages and see what they took and I will learn from them too. I say, when I heard that I won the first prize, I say, yeah. I even shocked. We are together with Alamin.
Oh, nice.
I just 5 minutes silent. Alamin asked me what. Yeah. Where I won the first prize of HE. Alamin say, wow. Seriously, I'm surprised because I just enter. I don't even have in my mind that I'm going to win.
Yeah,
this week.
it's always
enter.
like that.
Yes.
Always like that. Thank you so much, Sani. And you don't always know the image that will make an impression out there. For you, it might just be a quick shot you took, wide angle, zoom in with the lens, boom, and you submitted it thinking, okay, let me just do it. But then it made a very huge impression on the international jury. And here you are with the first prize. And coming back to you, Wilfred, you, of course, won the best video prize for this year. Wilfred, you also won this prize last year, if I'm not if I'm not mistaken. I mean, you're just one win away from making this a hat trick. Wilfred, how did the 2022, win influence your work as a photographer and a cinematographer? Please share with us. Oh, I hope he didn't disappear. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, while we are waiting for Wilfred to rejoin, let's come to you, Mohamed Nasr. We saw the image you submitted, which won the second prize, Stormy Day in Somalia. What did you mean to show the world when you submitted that image you titled Stormy Day in Somalia?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, the story of this photo, or generally this trip to Somalia, it was with helping of charity institute in Qatar, which supports and giving some donations to all need people, and in Somalia, in Africa, in Asia, in every country. So in this trip, we were in Somalia, in a city called Baidawa. This city is a south region near to Mogadishu, and this city, which is called Baidawa, is having some village around this city. These villages is in the desert, and in 2017 and 2018, there was a big lack of water in this area. So all the people and families who were living in these villages around this area in south of Somalia, they move after their animals, their plants, all their belongings are dead because of the weather and bad weather and lack of water. They take their kids and travel on a carts to go around the Mogadishu city. So we were seeing a lot of families that were traveling in a miserable way in a day with a lot of storms and bad weather in that day. When we were on our way, we see some newcomers from these villages, and they decide to stay here in this area, and they begin to use their belongings and drop it off from the carts and begin to build the small tents which will live in. So I see these people, and I stopped. I told the car to stop to see what's the story behind them. After that, this lady was coming out from her small tent to check the weather outside, and suddenly her child was coming after her. So I took this photo, and when she was looking what to do now, are we in a dangerous, does we need to move the tent to another area? I see these questions in her eyes. So I take some photos, and as you see, the climate effect is shown very clearly regarding to this photo. So I'm trying to showing what's the effect of the bad weather on these people. The first time when they left their village because of lack of water. The second time when they come to a new place, which they wish to have support in this new place, they also face a weather problem. And that was this time the stormy weather that prevents them to build their tents and live in it securely. And that is the story.
That's an amazing story, Nasir. It's safe to say you took the shots on a mission, while you were on a mission, and it has this nostalgic feeling with the kid of that woman standing beside her. Timing was perfect, and you sort of, with this explanation now, you've tried to show us what you saw while you were trying to take that shot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And coming to you, Mohammed Osman, doing photography and documentary photography in somewhere like Somalia is not a child's play, because it's like there's always crisis in the country, and you have to be very, very, very careful. Please, how do you manage to go about your work as a photographer in Somalia? And how did you capture this winning entry, Kids and the River?
This picture in East Sudan, because
yes, sorry, not Somalia.
In Sudan. This is Totil Mount, and this Gash River. He's not of every time he's in this place. Just in winter he's come just in like this. And every time the children we go to swim in this river, and he enjoy and take fishman and everyone. But this time he's not like every time, because climate change and this problem. And now, before take this picture, I'm come to see the river, and I watch it. The children is like sad, because the river is not good for the swim and not good for everything.
Thank you so much, Mohammed Osman. It takes knowing the time the children used to maybe show up to swim to know how to take perfect picture as good as. Thank you so much. I don't know if Abdul is able to come back here. If not, Abdul, guys, happens to be the winner for the best audio prize for this year. And I think this is probably the first time we are awarding this prize for the Wiki Loves Africa competition. It's a pity he's not here, but let's see if we can play the entry later on after we've talked to Wilfred. Wilfred, are you back? Thank you. Thank you for rejoining. I'm sorry about the internet. I also experience the difficulties from time to time. So before you disappeared, I hope he has not gone again. Okay, I guess I will not talk to Wilfred again. Maybe that will help him stay. But that said, we come to you now, Alamin. Are you still with us? Alamin? Okay. I think some of the guests are having. Oh, nice to have you here, Alamin. As an Earth lover, Alamin, I would like to think that this year's theme for Wiki Loves Africa 2023 totally works in your favor. Since you're an Earth lover, climate and weather would be very familiar theme for you to work on.
Exactly.
That explains why your entry, The Last Stand, won the Africa Environment Video Prize, courtesy of the African Union, by the way.
Wow.
So, where was this video made, and how did you put together such an amazing video?
Hello once again. It's actually a honor to even hear the African Union is part of the group sponsoring this. So this is really huge. A little backstory I would say is I love to document a lot of impact stories. Not that I knew Wikimedia will come out with a theme called climate and weather, but fortunately I already have shot in a lot of locations in and around Nigeria, different stories similar to this. And the theme sort of favored me, and I felt, okay, let me go back to my archive of footages and see if I can blend a story that tells a perfect, like emotional, touching story that actually showcases the impact of climate and weather on so many individuals. If you notice, a lot of the shots were drone shots, and the reason was intentional. A drone gives you the ability to see things in a larger perspective from a different angle and an aerial view. So for damages related to climate change, seeing it in a wide expanse actually gives you more of a meaning of how bad it can get, how the weather can affect people. So that was why you have a lot of the shots showing a wide expanse of land and the damages that have been incurred. And I feel the video needs to actually drive a talk that probably can bring about change in policies by the government, by NGOs, even by stakeholders, so that we can tackle and change our ways towards climate change, because it seems it's going to get worse. Temperatures, flooding, droughts, ice melting, so many things, so many things. So I think that's a little story about my video the last time.
So, Alamin, it's safe to say you just, go about taking environmental clips and keeping them somewhere, waiting for something like this, and then put them together. You must be a real earth lover. And with that, I would say we should, get to see this video. Nani, could you please share or play the clip for us to enjoy?
As the wind blows, reminding us how full the earth feels with all we have created. Nature has spoken 1,000 words, yet we are reminded of the unspoken intentions of the earth's expectation to keep its foundation in one piece. We have lived creating outcomes, but now its causes are shown in the harm that this neglect has caused. A lot is changed in the climate, thereby starving the earth. Cutting down trees or burning them has allowed gases floating in the air, covering the layers of the fresh air we need to breathe and the earth's good food. It's all gone. The lands are sliding. The earth is starved, hence it becomes dry. When the seasons change, the lack of drainages have burst open. The rivers runs into our homes, forcing the livelihood we have gathered out. These streams led to poverty, homelessness, disruption of clean water and electricity, transportation, poor communication, poor education and healthcare. If we do not make it better, will our children know how it feels like to play in a safe environment? Will the food be safe enough for the next season? Let's create renewable energy. Who will bear the cost of this climate change?
Thank you.
No, thank you, Alamin. This is so emotional. Looking at these clips and the entire footage, it reminds me about one of our problems, in Nigeria. Despite the fact that the insecurities is causing a food shortage, something like flood also has its contribution to the food shortage in Nigeria.
Exactly.
So thank you for giving us this amazing video. Thank you
It's
so
my
much.
pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is ours. And I don't know if Wilfred has been allowed back by the internet. Oh, here he is.
Oh,
I
yes,
will
I
just.
am back.
I'm sorry, the connection keeps kicking you out. But then I was hoping, you know, that you could sort of share with us how the 2022 win uh, influenced your work as a photographer and a videographer.
Okay, the 2022 win, first off, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can.
The 2022 win totally changed the course of my career. It gave me the confidence to go forward and actually create more content and contribute for for the following contest, which is this for this year. And it directly influenced my career in the aspect of giving me that independence that I craved for in terms of funding for my equipment. I literally rent. My story has been that of determination from the start. My 3 years doing this, it's been that of determination. I rent all the way through, even up to the editing process. But the winning last year gave me the opportunity to acquire certain equipment, and I believe this year's winning as well is going to take me even further. And yeah, so that's how it's influenced my art so far, and I am totally grateful for that.
That's amazing because for us, while we are making sure that Africans are able to tell the African story undiluted, we also are happy to know that somehow that we influence the lives of these Africans who are change makers, because it's one thing to make a cool video with your phone, but then to have an eventful editing platform, you might need to buy one or two equipment or softwares and whatnot. So for us, we want to make sure that as these Africans like yourself are trying to contribute to the free encyclopedia by submitting these contents under the free licenses, that we are also empowered and encouraged to do more. Thank you for sharing that. And with that, I think we should see this video that Wilfred submitted that won the best video prize for this year. Noni, please share to the delight of our audience.
The recent flood in Nigeria has ravaged many parts of the country, causing devastating effects on people and properties, and the situation is becoming increasingly alarming. Several states have recorded high levels of rainfall in recent times. The flood has caused significant damages to homes, farmlands, infrastructure, and has also led to the displacement of many people. In some areas, the flood has destroyed crops, leading to loss of income for farmers and food scarcity for the population. In some communities, the flood has contaminated water sources, leading to outbreaks of waterborne diseases such as cholera and typhoid. Over 600 people have been killed and over 2,400 have been injured. In the wake of this disaster, the question is, what can be done to prevent this from recurring? Climate change is a shared responsibility. My daughter, I apologize for the shock you must be feeling right now. You taught me how to send emails, remember? I learned that they can be scheduled. The doctor said cancer wouldn't let me see you graduate from the university. So I decided to get this message delivered to you at the right time. You have always been a bright child, Ibie. You brought joy into I and your mother's life. We couldn't bear to see you hurt for a moment.
Ibie, stop running!
It's sad that your mother couldn't witness you grow into a beautiful and strong woman just like her. The fear of also losing you prompted me to send you to my sister in the city. My Ibie, I've tried to keep this away from you all this while, but I believe you are now old enough to understand. Before you play the last message, please go straight to the family farm. It is the very place I have seen you the happiest. It breaks my heart that you have to face this alone, my daughter. I believe with some help, you can salvage our family heritage. I'm sorry I failed you, Ibie. It is now left to you and everyone hearing my voice to do what is right, to save the future.
Thank you so much, Wilfred, for that emotional video. You know, it's actually our collective effort to make sure that we tend to save ourselves by saving our environment one way or the other. Thank you so much. I don't know if Buba is still here. Buba, tu es toujours là? Okay. It's like Buba has left us because he was Buba.
Ouais.
Ok. Bon,
Je suis là.
Oui. La question suivante, c'est concernant comment tu vas faire coordination de peut-être que des membres de Wiki Loves Africa International pour arriver à la soumission qui a gagné le prix de la collection spéciale de cette année.
S'il te plaît, tu peux reprendre la question? J'ai pas entendu. C'est slow, s'il te plaît.
I'm also going to translate the question.
Ok. Tu m'entends, non?
Oui, j'entends.
Ok. On aimerait savoir comment tu as géré pour arriver à la soumission qui a gagné le prix de la collection spéciale.
D'accord.
Alors, just in English, just before. Buba did something a little bit special. He coordinated a group this year, and the group won the special collection prize. So Ceslos is asking him how they did it.
Vas-y.
Ok. Tout d'abord, j'aimerais dire merci à Wiki Loves Africa et aussi cette année avec mon associé Mansita Konaté qui n'est pas en direct. On a décidé d'organiser la soumission Wiki Loves Africa, de rencontrer des jeunes pour les aider à participer à ce concours cette année. Donc, on a pu les assister lors des tournages, on a pu leur partager aussi notre savoir-faire, on a pu les suivre des différentes étapes du processus jusqu'à la soumission. Et ça a été de très beaux moments. On a pu rencontrer les jeunes, discuter avec eux, les enseigner sur comment on fait des images parce que aujourd'hui, on a des téléphones de haute technologie qui permettent de filmer en haute qualité et tout le monde sait les appareils pour faire des films, ça coûte. Donc, si on peut utiliser des téléphones avec des applications pour faire de belles images, pour faire de belles photos, ce serait encore mieux et moins coûteux. Donc, les jeunes nous ont suivis dans ce processus. On a essayé d'étudier les thèmes, savoir sur quoi la vidéo de chaque personne va apporter, sur quelle spécificité précisément. Et après ça, bon, ça a été la soumission. Ça s'est fait en un temps record, mais ça a été quand même un moment très bien. Ça a été des moments qu'on ne peut pas oublier. On a passé des super moments avec Mansita Konaté lors du télévêtement et voilà, ça a donné le résultat qui est aujourd'hui.
Florence?
Okay, that's very long. It's complicated. So, what mostly they have been doing, he has been working with a partner, and what they did is to work with some young videast and photographer. I think videast mostly, and they had a theme, and they led them, they coached them on the way so that they would produce videos according to a certain format, a certain duration, for example. And at the end, they submitted the videos all at the same time. I think you met together and you had the videos submitted, all of them together. And yeah, you didn't say that. Maybe that's the next question. But they plan to do it again next year because it was super successful and they found it useful to help the young people to feel engaged and empowered to participate to the contest.
Thank you very much, Florence. Merci beaucoup, Bouba. For those of us who don't know what a special collection prize is, it's a prize we give, for maybe a special collection of images or videos that, are put together to tell a story. And for this year's special collection by what we now know as the Wiki Loves Africa Fan Club in Ivory Coast, here is what the winning entry for that prize category looks like. Nani?
Aujourd'hui, je suis ici par rapport à un concours bien précis qui est dénommé Wiki Loves Africa. Aujourd'hui, je suis avec Aboubacar et Madame Konaté. Je remercie Aboubacar. Grâce à lui, j'ai connu Wiki Love. C'est une très belle initiative de Wikipédia. Voilà. J'ai eu à participer avec d'autres personnes. Et aujourd'hui, 18 avril, on a appris beaucoup de choses avec Aboubacar.
Et je participe aussi au concours Wiki Love Africa. Voilà, j'ai connu Wiki Love grâce à M. Bouba. À la base, je l'ai contacté sur Instagram juste pour avoir une formation avec lui. Mais sûrement, il a aimé mes projets, mes travaux et il a voulu que je participe à Wiki Love et c'est un grand plaisir pour moi.
Aujourd'hui, j'ai appris beaucoup de paramétrage sur l'appareil Blackmagic et je pense que c'est encore plus avantageux pour moi de continuer dans cette aventure.
Alors, j'ai connu Wiki Love grâce à Aboubacar, qui est un grand frère pour moi que je connais depuis bien un moment. C'est lui qui m'a parlé vraiment de Wiki Love. Et lorsqu'il m'a parlé de ce concours, j'ai vraiment vu un intérêt particulier à y participer. C'est pourquoi aujourd'hui, je me rends ici dans les locaux de Wiki Love, plus précisément à Cocody.
Je suis très heureux de participer à ce concours par le biais de Madame Kamaté et de Monsieur Bouba qui nous ont vraiment aidés dans la démarche. Et ce fut un plaisir.
Thank you so much, Nani. Merci, Bouba, et votre équipe d'avoir préparé la vidéo. C'est vraiment étonnant parce que normalement, on ne fait pas seulement le concours pour encourager des concurrentes, mais aussi pour encourager des communautés partout en Afrique. So for us, it's not just about running the Wiki Loves Africa as a contest to have contestants spread across Africa. We also try to see it as a means of promoting communism and building and encouraging new communities of storytellers across Africa. Merci, Bouba. And with that, I will just go to the last question for everybody. Starting with you, Sani. I don't know if you're still here with us. Just one photography tip you would like to share, African aspiring photographers, because especially, in fact, the fact that most people in Africa usually rely on smartphone for making photos or videos. So one tip of good photography from you.
What I would say is that always follow who knows what and see what that man do. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
I always learn it from my Oga, which is Alamin.
Yes.
Yeah. Although I'm into photography before Alamin, but since I know Alamin knows better than me, and he's also educated better than me, I always ask him question and question every day. That's how I used to improve my photography. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sani, for that tip. So according to Sani, it's best if you have a mentor, that you can be learning new tips from time to time. And coming to you, Mohamed Nasr, what photography tip would you like to share with Africans, especially those who are using smartphones?
I will say to them that photography is not just equipment. Photography in the main reason is a subject or a story. A story or a subject is a hero of the photo. So it doesn't matter what's your machine, but it does matter what's in your mind. This is my first tip. My second tip is I'm advising them to don't afraid from people, approach people issues, and try to get your subject by different angles. That what make your photo reach and express your feeling or your point of view.
Thank you so much, Mohamed Nasr. So according to Mohamed, try to tell a story with each photograph that you actually take, and try to approach your subject of interest from various angles. So take your shots from more than one angle. Thank you so much, Mohamed. And coming to you, Moahmmed Osman, what photography tip can you share with Africans, especially those using smartphones?
I have a lot of people who good take picture, but I have one in like the photographer is not taking picture, just he's making picture. Is how you making this is a good picture, how you can feeling about the subject. You need to good feeling before to shooting, and what you want for this picture. Yeah,
Nice.
something like that. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much, Mohammed. So according to Mohammed, try to focus on the art of taking the photo, and it makes sense because that could get you the perfect shot that you are looking for. Alamin, over to you.
Just like in photography, the story is the most important part of the picture. So what are you trying to tell the viewer? What emotion do you want the viewer to have? So always concentrate on the story. And I would say secondly, practice, 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 and even practice some more. That's the best way you can get better, and eventually you'll reach there. And maybe lastly, I'll say study movies that you love, study documentaries that you love, because that will lead you to create a better story that has your own direction. I think that's it. And finally, let me just counter Mr. Sani Maikatanga. He is my mentor, and I've known him for a while, and I've learned so much from him. So he's someone that I really look up to, and once in a while, maybe he learns a few things from me. Maybe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As a Nigerian, I know what you two are trying to do, but don't worry. For Alamin, I'm not surprised that he gave these tips for videography because he had mentioned that he feels, photos don't really tell complete stories. So thank you so much, Alamin, for sharing. And Wilfred, are you still here?
Oh, yes, I am.
Yes, some filmmaking tips, please, especially since you started with smartphones. So what would you say to that smartphone filmmaker?
Okay, to the smartphone filmmakers, first off, storytelling cannot be overemphasized. It's always about the story, how you capture an image, what you make people feel about that image is what would actually make it stand out. So it's always storytelling. It's always storytelling. As much as the fundamental techniques are important in cinematography, and the rest, it's always boils back to storytelling, especially when you don't have the best of gears to work with. Yeah, that's it. And yes, research. Spend a lot of time on YouTube. You can make whatever you're making even better if you spend time researching.
Thank you so much, Wilfred. And while Alamin mentioned watch the favorite movies you like, Wilfred is sharing YouTube tips. Thank you for all those amazing tips on photography. And I don't know why Abdul couldn't join us today, but perhaps let's share the best audio entry that he submitted that won the best audio prize for this year. Noni. Amazing. I wish we had Abdullahi here to explain his thought process while he was, putting together these sounds. But you could hear some animals in the background, siren, I think raindrops and whatnot. It was really, a trance for me listening to that. But the first time I heard it, and of course, it still made that impression on me. And with that, I will say thank you very much, Eric Buba, for doing the jury task with the rest of the members of the jury. And that was not an easy task at all, going through all those entries to find winners. And we also congratulate these winners, and hope that these prizes they won gets to amplify their work, especially internationally and on the continent. So thank you so much, Sani Maikatanga, Mohamed Nasr, Moahmmed Osman, Alamin Abubakar, Alamin Tanimu. Oh, sorry, Alamin Mohammed, yes, that's his name. It's Abdullahi, that is Abubakar, who unfortunately couldn't join us. And of course, Wilfred Somoni. It's been a session with all of you, and we definitely, I'm passing this message specifically to Wilfred and Alamin. We definitely want to see more video contributors in the future Wiki Loves Africa. So please answer us and we'll reach out to you to perhaps have some mentorship kind of arrangement, or to help train some of our future participants. And of course, every other one of you, we hope that you can hand down these skills to upcoming generation to probably join you in the storytelling about Africa. And with that, I would say that the 9 years of the Wiki Loves Africa International Media Contest so far has been amazing. Wiki Loves Africa has been, of course, changing the story of Africa one theme at a time every year since it was inaugurated in 2014. The work of telling the African story correctly can only be done by Africans and no other person. This is why Wiki in Africa, the organizers of the Wiki Loves Africa International Media Contests, keep providing African enthusiasts, amateur and professional photographers and videographers the opportunity to show the world what Africa is really about. Winners or not, like I usually say, it's our collective responsibility as Africans to make sure that we correct the misrepresentation of Africa on the global stage. No thanks to the Western media by being change makers ourselves, one entry at a time through a platform like Wiki Loves Africa. Next year marks the 10th year anniversary for the Wiki Loves Africa competition. So let us show up bigger and better to mark the 10 years anniversary in a grand style while we continue telling our stories as Africans. On behalf of the Wiki in Africa team, I say thank you once again, Eric, Sani, Mohamed Nasr, Moahmmed Osman, Abdullahi, who couldn't join us, and Wilfred, and of course, Alamin, for finding time to honor our invitation to share some creative tips and responses to our questions. And thank you everyone who was able to join and show up. With that, I say see you next time and have a good weekend.
This episode of Wiki Africa Hour was hosted by Ceslas Obanaya. Let us know what topics you want to discuss and join us next month on the same channels. Subscribe to the Wiki in Africa YouTube channel and follow Wiki Africa on social media.